I believe so much in like Patrick and what he's doing, and I'm not really easy to sway, but I decided to become an affiliate with his company and everything like that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I've been sharing, well, the water bottles. I actually haven't got too much into the structuring devices. Part of it is the price.
Right.
So, having that option of being able to do like a payment plan, but also getting this type of information out to everyone before I'm just like, hey, here's this $350 product,
Right.
like being able to educate them so
Right.
that they understand the
Okay,
benefits.
why? Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's why. If you want electrical charge in your water, and that's what runs us, this is very important to know. Go for the fresh fruits and vegetables. There's a menu of ways that we can do it, and we can afford to do it. But I think we do. Why I like to mention Patrick is I don't think we can. We need more help than just the lifestyles we're living.
right,
In this kind of a compromised environment now, with the level of chemical contaminants coming at us.
right.
This water is so we know water is a great dissolver. It can run through a rock finally. And that's the advantage of water, is that when it has the electrical charge, it can much more easily disassemble contaminants and chemicals in our system. So you're using water that can truly wash out that crap that's coming in everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that all means chemical stuff like being exposed to pesticides and, the carpets and you name it. It's also the electromagnetic frequencies, because water is a buffer for, again, that a picture of the rock in the water making waves. Water can help cohere those waves and make them less harmful to our cells. And that's also, so in our work at the Hydration Foundation, we've done a lot of science on the effect of water buffering electromagnetic fields as well. And it's so important. It's so great to be able to share it, because we got to help each other.
Absolutely. I wanted to make a couple quick points. I've mentioned this to the group before, but Gina is a co-author on this book called Quench, which, a lot of her knowledge has been condensed into this book. It's like a manual, and you can learn a lot of these tips and tricks and things like that. So what I'm going to do, if you have a link or something like that for me, or I don't know if they can find it on your website.
No, I'll get you a link, but you know what? I love that you raised the book, and it's so simple, because in the book we made a 5-day plan, so people can in 5 days practice some of these techniques and discover for themselves. And also, by the way, I'm going to mention that you need to know your own hydration. Nobody else can tell you when you're hydrated. 8 glasses a day, come on. I'm 5'1". My husband is 6'4". We do not need the same volume of water.
Right.
And so just knowing that is also important. So in the book, we help you find your own feelings about hydration, so you can assess for yourself. And we put 50 recipes in there, so anybody can make, gazpacho, salsas. Oh my God, we just went to town with recipes. Puddings and waters. But maybe even more valuable than the book, is our summit that's coming up.
Okay.
And the summit is free, and that's also, again, I'm a mom, so I'm always worried about price, costs, and how things go. But I love this summit we have put together. It's been a 1.5 years in the making, and we got 30 of the most cutting edge, thoughtful doctors to talk about their hydration strategies, because they all know, oh my God, my patients do so much better.
Right.
So we have a psychiatrist talking about using hydration in mental health issues. We have cardiologists talking about electrical function of the heart. We have Dr. Joe Mercola, who is he runs the biggest health network, talking about how sunlight affects water and how important it is to use sunlight. We have people talking about minerals. Dave Asprey, who's a biohacker, he's a wonderful, thoughtful guy. He actually has contributed to research with this guy I keep calling Dr. Gerald Pollack, who's our closest colleague here at the Hydration Foundation. He's done everything to help us launch this, because poor man, I wouldn't leave him alone. It's like, okay, all right then. So the Hydration Solution Summit.
Okay.
It's at hydrationfoundation.org. That's the link. We set it up so that it's 5 consecutive weekends, so that you have time to absorb all these masterful physicians, practitioners, scientists giving their talks. And by the way, at every one of those interviews we did, we asked them, so what's your 3 top tips for hydration? So we got such a huge menu of how to hydrate.
Nice.
And we're sharing that with the world. We're going to also have, besides a summit that takes place just on weekends, nobody else has done it. That's a totally new model. We also created a slot at 8 o'clock every night, Eastern, and 5 Pacific, to have live coaching. So I come on and I take questions. So, because the goal here is to really get people hydrated.
Right. People need to, number one, understand the importance of hydration, but actively pursue hydration for themselves, because it's so important. And I want to ask you briefly, because we're gonna put all the information for your summit and everything. That's all going to be in the description box. We're going to make sure people know how to find the summit, because we need to sign up and attend.
Thank you, Chris.
What are, realistically speaking, I mean, I understand brain fog and
Right.
energy are some of the things we can treat with hydration. I mean, what are some of the other things we can treat outside of some of the things you've named now? I mean, can we, is arthritis on the list?
Yes.
Diabetes?
All chronic conditions. So just let's do the science on this one. So if we back up and we recognize that our cells need electrical energy to do their healing work, or to just do their work. You know, your body's either working or resting. It's either working and using up energy, or it's resting and healing. So healing takes place during the rest stage, whether you're sleeping or you're just taking some time to sit or you're relaxing. Even if you're walking, you can be relaxing. That's a healing state. So this is really important to know, that water is giving you the energy to run your cells. And the second part of this is so important, is it's giving you the communication between the cells. So if your blood cells, or your diabetes, or your insulin, or your arthritis, or your brain, your mental acuity is your healing around the spring, all of these things are happening because the cells are coming together and communicating. Hey, we got a problem on floor B, you know, the 3rd floor, send up some stuff to that. That all takes place based on hydration. It's run by come on, we know that electricity is conducted by water. Know that. It happens inside of you on very subtle voltages. And when those cells don't have enough electrical communication between each other, they start breaking down and failing in their job. And then whatever their job is, that failure takes place in the body for different people in different places.
Gotcha.
Based on their weaknesses or their vulnerabilities.
So
but hydration to that site is where the healing can begin.
Absolutely. So I mean, basically, whatever it is that you're dealing with, hydration will help, because it's a fundamental necessity, right? I mean, our bodies just need it. And one of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand is that the body heals itself, right? It's like everything else we do is just supporting the body's natural ability to heal and restore itself. So give it what it needs.
Exactly. And, you know, I always have to start the hydration conversation to overcome the prescription that's out there that everybody has to have 8 glasses a day. And that's why hydration is such a impoverished conversation for people. They're like, I'm, you know, either I'm going to try to do that and fail and give up. They don't look for water in other places that could be really helpful and healing. So our message is, hydration is your number one. It's most potent, most affordable health act you can do every day. And you are a water being, so it's about your essence anyway. And that act doesn't mean 8 glasses of water a day.
Mm.
So, it means breathing deeply and pulling vapor out of the air. It means moving your especially your head on your spine. It means getting great foods from fresh places, or cooking beautiful stews and making incredible soups, and having this as part of your overall strategy for being a water being.
It's a lifestyle.
It's great. It's the way we're planned. It's the way we're designed, and it's you flourish so much. Your joy levels come up. Your capacity to appreciate your world, to give to your world. All of these things become at higher percentage based on how much hydration is there.
I feel like I'm a testament to it, because and there's so many things you said. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize. But like, when I started my wellness journey, one of the major things I was dealing with was some depression. It wasn't clinical depression. It was from a relationship, but it was something that I was dealing with for years. And as I started water fasting, and hydrating, I really just released all of that. That was like part of the process that I went through. And to connect that to hydration was really impactful, because now I can share that sort of information, because depression is a huge issue right
Oh
now.
man, why wouldn't it be? If we live in artificial environments, subjected to overwhelm and stress. We have financial concerns that don't seem to be solved or helped by our culture and our country. We have we have mobility in families where we're not with our tribe and our group who are natural helpers.
Right.
We're just so now I'm speaking strictly as an anthropologist. If I came in with a camera and I'd go, whoa, this is a problem society. And yet we talk about ourselves and our health problems as if we're an individual deficiency.
Gotcha.
That's the beginning of ill health.
Nice.
We are really in this together. And if you are having a health problem, it isn't because of you and your genes or you and your lifestyle.
Right.
It is a whole cultural assault
Mm-hmm.
on our very selves. And when we get together and have these conversations, the relief for people to find out, this is not my fault, but I can take action on it and get myself to healing through hydration. Yeah.
That is so big. I love that. I did want to mention to everyone who's watching that if I may, I'm going to be on the hydration summit as well. So for all of you all who are interested in seeing the reverse, where Gina interviews me, definitely come and check that out. Like I said, let's all get registered and enjoy this amazing free resource. It's like, this is the type of stuff that we should have been learning in school, and we weren't. So now as adults, we have to take the responsibility to kind of go and unlearn some of the bad stuff and the stuff that's incomplete, and then relearn some of the new stuff, some of the new science, and some of the things that are really helping people heal. I wanted to give you an opportunity before we kind of wrap things up to address anything else that we may not have got a chance to get to yet.
Great, thank you, Chris. And I do want to say about our interview together that you were so joyful, and that water fasting is and this is related to the last comment, which is fasting. Now I'm speaking again as an anthropologist, is a tradition that's ancient, and there's a reason why it's so potent. So if we recognize that we are just water beings, and that healing takes place when we're not doing other activities like digesting.
Yeah.
It takes a huge amount of energy. And if we give ourselves, as nature would have in its fast and feast times, places to clean out, to reset, and to be made sacred through water. Water is a sacred essence that we are made of and the world is made of, and we've somehow gotten divorced from that process. So water fasts, even if you just do it like skip breakfast
Mm-hmm.
and go all night and then have lunch. This is enough time for your cells to start their healing process,
Right.
and it's profound. And then what it does confronts us with is how tied we are to the kinds of needs we have to soothe ourselves from the incredible levels of anxiety that we're dealing with. So it makes us alert to that. It heals us from it. And then if you can't do without the food, which is fine because it takes a while to spiral into these places, it's great to know that you could just have an all vegetable and fruit day.
Right.
Wow. Okay, I'll do the 3 apples for lunch, and
Right.
I'll do a huge salad, and then I'll, and because I've been, fasting, I learned it. I struggled to have it become part of my life, and I went through all the steps that at first I thought it was going to be so hard. I would do days where I just would eat vast amounts of vegetables just to get through a day without anything but that water. So I would cook an entire cabbage head. I'd roast it and have roasted cabbage leaves. It sounds insane, um, but I was determined to move myself beyond, to move myself into categories of healing and healing food, and it had a really beautiful impact on my life, and it's allowed me to do this work with lots of energy to spare and lots of juicy joy around it. So we at the Hydration Foundation, we have packaged together an incredible summit. It's coming March 15th. No, it ends March 15th. It's going February 15th through March 15th with all sorts of really interesting people to spend time with, to learn how they do it. And then we'll coach you through whatever you need. Just, we're here to help. So Chris, fantastic to be with you.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we got to do this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, actually. And, you're busy, I'm busy. And I didn't take the time to reach out. And then Patrick was like, hey, I scheduled you a call. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm going to take it. And so it's been great getting to know you and interacting. And I know that we'll be working together in the future.
Great.
Something hydration focused.
Yeah, I just had a thought, which is, I really would love this to land in church communities as much as possible, because when we spread the spirituality of it along with the health practice, wow, that's a double whammy.
Right. Yeah, there's I know, like, I grew up as a Christian, and there is so much talk about fasting in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like we don't focus on it, or we manipulate the meaning of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that when I was younger, we were talking about, like, oh, you fast from your cell phone usage, or you fast from, drinking Coke or something like that. And it's just like, no, like, get yourself a bottle of water and just give yourself that time to rest and restore. And we would see so much more healing taking place in, our religious sectors and things like that, because they all promote it, and like you mentioned, even in nature will naturally create these periods of time where you're resting from eating and things like that. And we always have been taught that that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And so now we're like so much better because we have a grocery store 24/7, 365 days out of the year. And that's like damaging us, and it's making us sicker and sicker. So yeah, absolutely.
Chris, and not to interrupt, I grew up in a Christian tradition as well, and the kind of undertone of fasting was you fast to make God really give you what you're asking for, praying for. Like, that's like the extra, well, really. And what happened is I found out that what fasting did is release me from the need for the things I was asking for. It released me from my longings or desires that were really driving me in addictive ways, and made me assured that I was going to be cared for as a living creature by my, living creator. So
That's
yeah.
so, that's such a twist of fate right there, because you're absolutely right. I agree. It's always like fast. Now, me personally, I was taught like, it was like you fast and you pray and it's going to help you build a relationship with God. But I didn't know what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have any clue. It's not explained nearly well enough. And so like going through this process of fasting and things like that, I think we talked on the last interview about the spirituality, and like I feel so much more connected to nature, which is God. God
Yeah.
created everything that we interact with. And just being aware of things that, like, for example, insects. I never thought twice about an insect before I started, fasting and really becoming better hydrated. But we're all connected, all of the creatures and everything. Even as you mentioned, the plants, how intelligent plants are. We don't think of plants as intelligent because they don't talk and they don't move very quickly, and we're just like, oh, it's just a plant. It doesn't feel pain or have a central nervous system, but it's such an intelligent and divine creation. And it's so amazing having a connection with this stuff.
Amazing. I love it. We believe in this so much that our mission at the Hydration Foundation is better hydrating people, plants, animals, and soils. And what we did with the Hydration Solution Summit is the opportunity to own the summit. The summit means we collect funds and we give spin funnels to farmers. We directly purchase them and we hand them out. We have a whole farmers network where they're all like, can I have one? Can I have one? And the reason we do that is because we know that water is dissolving the chemicals in their farmlands and restoring the soils back to original, the microbial soils. The whole ecology depends, as our body does, on hydration. So now we have a way to actually get ourselves hydrated through the information at the summit, but also start influencing farmers to grow without chemicals and to restore their soils. So as you can see, we put a lot of care, thought, and a lot of prayer into getting this summit to open up big ideas about what hydration is and where we can help with it. So thank you so much for letting me mention that. And
oh yeah, that's an amazing tidbit. That's because a lot of people talk about, oh, you like, me personally, I've been kind of doing the plant-based thing for a couple years now, and people are like, oh, but the plants are malnourished and all this stuff as well. So having someone who's focusing on, breathing life back into our crops and things, and
we're doing it. We do it together, right? We're going to do this together. I'm sorry, I'm not waiting for some government agency, or I don't believe, I can't say the name of that company or we'll be in trouble, but you know what company I'm talking about that does all those farm chemicals and pesticides and sprays it on our food and expects to continue to do that. We have a way now. We actually have a press button on our summit where you can literally get a farmer electrified water that will dissolve the chemicals that he's dealing with and accelerate this soil restoration. Now we're going to bring down the cost of vegetables because they're all going to be organic, and instead of like this little side area that's
right.
Oh my gosh. That's tough. So yeah, we're trying to, if we believe that fruits and vegetables hydrate more profoundly, then we have to go protect that.
Very, very nice.
Water's on our side. Love that.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Well, this has been amazing. Just like you said it was going to be. I really appreciate your energy, your knowledge, and I'm always happy to learn something new, especially about water. I know that you've got such a busy schedule planning the summit and everything, so I really appreciate you taking the extra time to come and speak to us. Hopefully one day at some point in time, maybe we could do like something live with the audience. And
oh, let's do that. Absolutely. I mean, our job is, the foundation is a gift from above. It was a surprising organization. And again, we got these scientists and doctors, and we are here to serve anybody. That's our job, supported by water. So love to do live anything. We'll have fun. We got each other now, right, Chris?
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I'm like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna have all the links and everything in the description box. I'll also do a pinned post because people don't actually go to the description box for whatever reason. And if you all liked this video, don't forget that the thumbs up button for me. If you want to see more videos like this, learn more about hydration, and even catch up on some of my old videos where I talk about hydration, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified. I usually do videos 10:30 a.m. On Sundays. Check me out. And once again, Gina, Bria, everybody. The application of knowledge is power, and we will see you all next time.